All right, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. I just realized that I had the timing off. It was supposed to be 2:30. I guess it would be a.m. my time. Probably if you're on the East Coast, it would have been 2:30 your time. But regardless, welcome, family, to another show. We got a really good show for you guys today. We're going to discuss some of the misconceptions about dating foreign women. All right, we'll be right back.
Rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just have to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I got to do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Black Man Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more. All right. We are in here, man. Welcome, guys, to another show. Appreciate everybody checking on in. Let me pull this up. First and foremost, man, I want to welcome everybody that's joined the private Facebook group, Passport Bros. We are closing on almost 8,000 members now, man. So all the guys that have joined, I just want to formally welcome you to the Passport Bros group. Also, for the guys in the Black Man Travels 2.0 group as well. A lot of good stuff going on right now. Passport Bros, as you guys can see, is getting a lot of attention right now, but no worries. Everything's going to come back down. I guess it's just the media cycle. So we're kind of in the algorithm right now. Everybody's kind of talking about us. Some guys positive, some guys negative, but that what comes with the territory when you're living your best life. Let me see who's all in the chat, and we can go ahead and get this party started. We're really going to chop it up today, man, about foreign women, because I don't want to give any misconceptions myself about dating overseas. Now, I've lived in Colombia, Brazil, spent a lot of time in DR, and currently I'm in Thailand. And I've had my experiences with relationships with women from all of these areas. So I'm going to share that with you guys in this video. All right. Just the straight, raw truth about dating overseas. So let's see who's all in the building real quick, man. Shout out to my guy. Virgil's in the building. He says, we in here. Shout out to Virgil. Shout out to Hannibal Barker, BMT for life. That's what's up. We got Bobby the Space Coast. That's a dope name, man. Said checking in. Shout out to you, Bobby the Space Coast. We got Swab Prince. What up, bro? BMT, what up? What up? What's good with you, my bro? He said, I like the group. Real righteous people in there. Shout out to Bobby Space Coast. Yeah, there's some good people. Hey, there's some characters in there as well, guys. You know, could be wrong. I tell guys all the time, it's a pretty sizable group, man. So guys come from different backgrounds. They have different opinions. But if you utilize the group properly, you will get a lot of good information as far as, you know, traveling, and in some cases, even investing in how to get passive income. You got a lot of solid bros in the group. You got a couple of well-established bros in the group too. You know, some well-off guys with, you know, their own companies. You got lawyers, professionals, doctors. You got a lot of IT guys, a lot of ex-military guys. So it's a good informational group, guys. You know, we have our fun. You know, we have our back and forths. You know, sometimes we got to kick dudes out of the group. But for the most part, is a lot of value. So if you haven't already joined, make sure you join both the groups, Black Men Travels 2.0 as well as Passport. Bro, shout out to my dude. Shout out to my dude, Zoo Travels in the building. What up, bro? That's a dope name, man. Zoo Travels, man. Real dope name. Shout out to you, bro. We got Real Appeal Finance in the building. Shout out to Real Appeal Finance. All right, keyword dating, not entangling. Very true. I want to point that out. Very good point to point out, man. We're talking about actual relationships. All right, we're talking about actual relationships, and they're different. I mean, everywhere you go in different countries, the dynamics of dating within that culture is very different. You know, very different from the States. You know, the States is going to be different from Colombia. Colombia's going to be different from Brazil. Brazil's going to be different from Thailand, and it's all going to be different from the Dominican Republic. All right. Shout out to I am Mike Bowl. I've tapped in. I'll watch later. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you checking in for a second. All right. So, guys, when it comes to concerns, I'm going to just jump right on into it because we have an actual premiere. We're not going to do a panel tonight, but we're going to premiere a video, Black in Southeast Asia, probably in the next hour or so. Right after this show, we're going to premiere that video. So make sure you tune in for the Black in Southeast Asia videos. Real good informational, dope interview. I interviewed a brother that actually lives in Japan, and he's been living in Southeast Asia for quite some time. He's going to tell us about his experiences. So that's going to come right after this video. All right. Now, I want to give us some context real quick before we get really into the mix of the topic, you know, in concerns about, you know, dating overseas, dating for our women. I hope I didn't give any, you know, in my videos, you know, in my discussions about, you know, just living overseas, you know, dating foreign women, that I gave you guys a, let's say, how do I want to put this? I don't want to make it seem like it's just so easy to just get your passport and travel overseas and it's just plug and play with the women of the different cultures when you don't spend a lot of time out there or you don't know the language. All right. I don't want to make it seem like it's just so easy that all women are submissive, that all women, you know, are just these little, you know, house on the prairie, leaving the beaver type of wives overseas. That's definitely not the case. That's definitely not the case. All right. Women have a base nature all over the world. All right. Women like to be comfortable. Women like provisions. Women like to be with guys with resources. Women like attractive guys. All right. You're not going to change that, you know, simply by taking a trip, you know. But there's some big differences at the same time. All right. Now, recently, I've seen a lot of videos and I heard, you know, a couple of little comments. You know, some guys been throwing little shots, you know, here and there. That's all good and dandy. But I know you guys saw that Tom Brady was having issues with his wife. I think he's been married like 20-some years, and his wife is Brazilian. You had guys saying that, well, I thought they was all submissive, you know. No, that's not the case. All right. That's definitely not the case. Women come from different areas. Women come from different backgrounds. All right. These women come from different cultures as well. So you have to take that in mind. The point of this video that I really want to get across to you guys is that relationships are hard in general, as it is. Men see the world one way, women feel the world another way. All right. It's always going to be somewhat of a tug of war in between of a relationship. And when you're coming from different cultures, it can be even more difficult. And if you don't speak the same language fluently, even though you might be able to communicate here and there, you can have like a small conversation. You might be learning the language. It's still not like, in most cases, you're still not fluent where you can really just go back and forth in the argument. Because let me tell you, when Colombian women, Latino women blow up on you, they blow up on you. And they go in full speed ahead with the Spanish, all right? And you might not really understand. You might understand like a glimpse of it, but you will understand by her, by her being physical, like, by her expressions, you'll definitely know that she's upset with you. All right. It's going to be hard to pull out that translator when they really getting into you, because relationships are hard. All right. Regardless, relationships are more difficult in America, though. All right. Relationships are more difficult in America because America was set up by the powers that be to be a business. All right. To be the top capitalistic society of the world. All right. Of, world trade. America was set up to make money. That's why all the foreigners come there and make money, and they go back, go back to their homelands, because America in general, in most cases, you don't really have time to invest in the relationship. Like I say, more or less, you have more of an arrangement, especially when you get past a certain age. And I want to point this out, and this might not be just the most popular thing to say, but if you're a man, well, you can have a different opinion on what I'm about to say. But most men, I think, would agree that the relationship dynamics change drastically, I would say, over the age of 25. Once you get past high school, your first romance, then you got college, and then you in your late 20s, you're trying to figure out what you're doing. You might be focused on your career, your trade, whatever. The relationship dynamics change drastically. So what gets a lot of guys caught up, in my humble opinion, is the fact that a lot of guys are looking for that Love Jones first relationship that they had maybe in high school, college, or even their early to mid 20s. But as we all get older, as women get older, as people have more experience with relationships and sexual experiences and adventures and all that, things change, especially for women. And in most cases, the woman, you might be head over heels for this woman, but in her head, she's really looking for another stream of income to be able to spend money and be disposable in most cases. All right. In most cases, not all, you got some genuine relationships out there, but most women that are getting married in their 30s in America and all that stuff, more than likely, they kind of just want an additional stream of income, bro. That's just the truth. And a lot of guys want to admit that because we grow up in a culture of romance. Well, most of us did. Some of us, didn't most recently. But as far as my generation, we had Love Jones, Love and Basketball. We had R&B. So, we came from romance, basically. And a lot of older guys are still looking for that. But things have changed drastically. All right. Things definitely have changed drastically. Now, take that, right? The situation that we have in America, I'm not saying all women, generalizing all women, but the relationships are tough in America because America, everybody's chasing the bag. Everybody, the women, the men, everybody's just chasing the bag, getting, competing with each other. I got a Benz, she got a Beamer, we keeping up with the Joneses across the street. I got a $400,000 house and all that good stuff. And I participate in that as well. And I'll be honest with you, I was miserable when I had all that good stuff. When I had a couple of cars, had a big house, I wasn't really that happy. I wasn't really happy until I really started traveling the world. Once I traveled the world, I got to experience, different people, different cultures. Now, in concerns of dating, we're going to just start with Colombia. All right. Because the Dominican Republic, dating the DR, in a lot of women have family in America that are in the DR, right? So some of that same game, you want to say, that they play in the States is played even at a more savage level in the Dominican Republic. All right. So a lot of stories that you hear, not saying that all Dominican women, I dated a few Dominican women myself, didn't really have too many bad experiences, but it did always come to a point with the finances kind of fairly quickly, in my opinion. Right. A lot of their goal is to get guys to send them money. All right. Multiple guys, whatever that game is. So when it concerns of dating Dominican Republic, if you're getting a woman from like outside the tourist area, maybe more so on the countryside, you might get lucky and get a genuine relationship. But you know, the DR, they have a lot of them have a certain nature to where they kind of looking for a come up, in all honesty. And I kind of found that out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Now, in concerns of hopping over to Colombia, the relationships in Colombia are very much romance based. It's a machismo culture, very romanticized culture. Women want to like you, they want to love you out there in Colombia. But a lot of times, what we have to understand as men, we're so used to going 50-50 on something where our women might have a job paying just as much as the job that we have. In most cases, that's not going to be the case overseas anywhere, unless you're dating a professional that's maybe up at the highest level. Even if you're dating a woman that's a lawyer or a doctor in South America, even in Southeast Asia, more than likely she still won't make the money that you make. If you like retired military or you got a check coming in, you're still probably gonna make more money than them, right? The catch is the women have more time to invest in you, as far as like they might be cooking and cleaning a little bit more. You spend more time with them versus back in America. We do put a lot on our women to try to come home after 12-hour day or 10-hour day, 5-6 days out of the week. They're working overtime. They got to come home. They got to try to take care of a home. It's super difficult. More likely, it's unmanageable, even especially when you have children to take care of. All right. Shout out to my dude Aries Ram. I got Yoga in the building too. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Shout out to Yoga in the building. Appreciate that, Aries Ram. He's also a member. Appreciate the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Dre the Kid. He says, facts on facts, it's a different ball game, stepping up from transactional relationships because more is required and expected of you to be a masculine man, which is extremely true. You need to learn the language as well. All right. Shout out to my dude, it's Dre the Kid. Shout out to Mr. International. He said, money goes further overseas. It's only common sense to spend it there. Very true. Now, I will say this. In most of the cases, in the countries that we like to go to, like South America, the Caribbean, even Southeast Asia, the laws aren't so constructed to be so devastating to the man. I will say that. And that's what makes it better to have or get married and have a long-term relationship overseas. When you're in America, we all know that court system is kind of situated and geared and favors the women in most cases. Now, if you know the law and you got a situation, it might be different for you. I know guys have one custody of their children and all that good stuff. If you got a good lawyer, that can happen. But in most cases, you're going to get screwed. All right. Mr. Nelson said, one of my closest friends was Dominican, and I know the game. They won't use me. Hey, if you know the game, man, my whole thing with Dominican Republic or Dominican women in general is you got to kind of play the game raw like they play the game raw. You got to be somewhat of a savage because they are respected more. If you go in there and you with the lovey-dovey stuff, even if you kind of used to that, that Latin, Colombian romance flowers, the DR, it's not as bad as America, but you got to let them know that, hey, you ain't a sucker. You ain't a sanky-panky or whatnot. Like, you ain't just fiending for love and all that good stuff. You got to let them know that, hey, man, I can replace you in a heartbeat. And sometimes they'll get right because of that. All right. Isaiah, what can I say? Yeah, you taking the gamble messing with a girl from the DR. Yeah, the DR is close, man. It's too close to America. And a lot of Dominican women actually look up to American women as well. All right. Eric, I thought women in Colombia work more hours and 6 days a week. Yeah, you got women that do work in Colombia. But the cool thing about Colombian women, I will say, is even if they work, they're going to come and represent. It's so competitive out there for a man, especially a man with resources, that even if she works 5-6 days a week, she's going to come see you a good amount of time, maybe even every day, and she's still going to cook and clean for you. All right. Because you get a maid, You get a maid like I had a maid. You get a maid in Colombia, the maid might be just as bad as your girlfriend. They don't want that. They don't want to, another woman cleaning up and cooking for you. So, that's that too. All right. In Philippines, divorce is illegal. Okay, I didn't know that, man. South Africa's my home. What's going on, bro? All right. I had another guy up here. I might have missed that. Apologies if I missed it. Okay, I'm buffering. All right. Not in the non-tourist areas, and she isn't into the American women trends. All right. You probably talking about in concerns of the Dominican Republic. Yes, sir. Yep. But guys, regardless, I don't want to make it seem like it's just so easy to get into a, long-term or gym relationship in the States. It's much easier overseas, but it's still going to be a back and forth. It's still going to have some issues, man. Right now, anything that happens, they'll be like, "Oh, are you marrying these women or this, that, and the other?" To kind of throw, dirt on the passport bros or whatnot, whatever. But in most cases, man, if you find you a good, solid woman overseas, you're probably going to be generally good. I think Colombia is one of those places you can really, fall in love and have a good genuine relationship. Now, Brazil, on the other hand, especially, I'm just speaking specifically for Rio. I'm just moving over to Rio now. Rio has like a large, big city. It's a big city. A lot of kind of, I would say, somewhat of a hookup culture. If you one of them guys that just want to just do numbers, and kind of mess around with a lot of, beautiful, super in shape women. You're not really looking for no long-term relationship. You're not really looking for a woman to, cook and clean the crib and all that. You just kind of want to just go out, have a good time, hook up with this one Monday, hook up with that one Wednesday, hook up with some chick on Friday. Then Rio is probably one of the best cities in the world for that, especially if you're in shape. If you're one of them guys that's in shape, if you speak, I would say, decent enough Portuguese, not necessarily have to, because Portuguese is a difficult language. It takes some time. But what I realized when I was down there living there is it was certain pockets and certain areas of Rio that people actually spoke English, right, fluently. And I was kind of shocked by that. So you can run into a woman in Rio that speaks English. All right. All right. Have you found a woman you were married? Or I got a question from Laterio. Have you found any woman you want to marry yourself, or are you married? Yes, I have. Yes, in Colombia. I sure have. Yeah, women overseas do have standards. They have standards, man, but they're not unrealistic standards. You know what I'm saying? Women in Rio, Steve, shout out to Steve, even though you're a Jets fan, looks like, shout out to you. Women in Rio are super jealous. Yeah, they are. They are extremely jealous. You got to be real careful with that. You know what I'm saying? I was telling some of my homeboys not too long ago. I said, listen, man, that savage going back and forth that we do in America, in relationships, for that tit for tat, you don't want to do that overseas, man. You don't want to do that overseas. Definitely, because some of these women don't play the bar. They don't tell you they don't play the bar. All right. Portuguese, and I hear that a lot. Portuguese and Spanish are very similar, but I've heard Spanish, speakers. I was talking to a Mexican girl. When I was in Rio, we went out a few times, and it still was really difficult for her to kind of understand, the waiters and stuff like that. It's still pretty different. In Brazil, they use a lot of slang too. So it's even if you know Spanish fluently, it's still, you might understand more than an English speaker would, but it still can be kind of difficult. Shout out to MGG, says, BMT, how was Tyler been treating you? Tyler been treating me pretty good, man. Been treating me well. All right. Tandem Treasure make a good point. Says, don't move to the tourist areas in the DR. They have many girls and fake women that will pay the long game to get your finances. Live 1 or 11 hours away. Damn, is that one? Oh, okay, 1 or 1/2 hour away from tourist areas. I definitely agree with that. Like I said that before. I said, yeah, if you outside the tourist area, if you kind of get a countryside girl or something like that, you'll be better off in the DR. They got some beautiful women in the DR, by the way. Oh my God, some of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, they do have standards, all right? Now, in concerns of Thai women, I've been having a lot of conversations with guys who's been out here for 8, 10 years, 20 years. Some guys that are married. So I've been getting a lot of good information. And I have dated, one or two girls out here myself. And the thing about Thailand, all right, at least in this area that I'm in right now, a lot of women, they do come from, I would say, a poor background, most cases. A lot of them want to marry a foreigner to kind of help them out. Now, to dispel the myth, do you have to take care of their family? Not in all cases. Not in all cases. That arrangement is for you to decide, who you're dealing with. You got some Thai women, like I went out with a Thai girl yesterday, and she had her own money. She wouldn't even let me pay for the drinks. So women like that have, maybe a career, or they might come from more of an established family, no, you don't have to take care of the family. All right. But in most cases, if you're a foreigner and you kind of here, you might be going back and forth to America. You got guys go back and forth to Europe. They are going to, they're going to want some resources from you. I see a lot of guys pay Thai women monthly, so the Thai women can send money back to their families in the villages, right? So you might got guys who give their women, I've heard, from $300 a month to over $1,000 a month. It all depends, but you will give them something. All right, so you have that going on too. Now, whatever you want to call that, whatever it is or whatever it is. But yeah, I have heard of that a lot here in Thailand, where guys kind of put their woman on the allowance. Now, that what comes with that is you got a woman, pretty much that's going to be cooking, cleaning, and taking care of you full time. So if you're an older guy and you're looking for more of an arrangement, as men, we get older, we need that woman to kind of take care of us, and then they need us to take care of them. Then Thailand might be the place for you. All right. But you just remember, here, a lot of guys give they woman an allowance, and the women send it back to their family and whatnot. All right. Shout out to Swaggy P. Grego, what up, Grego? All right, I got another question from Michael Moore. He says, how is the gun violence in Brazil and Colombia? It's bad, bro. It's bad. I can answer that real quick. It's bad. All right. I heard Brazil have the highest gun violence. Yeah. It's some bad areas in Brazil, man. It's some bad areas in Brazil. Not just the favela. Most of the gang warfare is going on in some of the favelas. But you got some bad areas in Brazil in general, in Rio, right? Just avoid the bad areas and you'll be okay. Unfortunately, it's crime in Colombia, but it's really like we hear most of the stuff you hear about the drugging and the robbing is kind of situated in Medellin. Don't get me wrong, Colombia can be off the chain, the whole entire country. But if you kind of stick in that tourist area, people come to that tourist area to pretty much rob gringos and all that good stuff. So you got to be extremely careful in Colombia. Now, as far as the gun violence, most robberies happen, without somebody getting killed. They just want your cell phone. That's what they're really going for, is your cell phone and the money in your pocket. All right. Yeah, gun violence in the favelas with Brazil. Actually, my boy Zoo was with me. I believe that was you that was with me when we were talking to the Uber driver, and he was kind of telling us to stay out of dangerous areas to be fine. I will say I felt a whole lot safer in Rio than I did in Colombia. All right. As far as just walking around at night, I told one of my boys when I first got out there, I said, man, we would never do this in Medellin. Just be walking around aimlessly at night, looking around. That's not going to happen. All right. At least for me, I'm not going to be walking around Medellin at night like that. All right. In an unpopulated place. Okay. Yeah, all these areas, listen, your location makes a big difference. Your location definitely makes a big difference, guys. All right. The further you are from the tourist areas, all right, the better chance you have at, getting a genuine relationship, because you're going to be around, different sets of people. It's generally people, a lot of women are going to just imagine. It's like how All-Star weekend is. In every major city, you got women that come from all over, different areas of the state, different states, different areas to kind of congregate in that area in hopes of what? Bagging the NBA player or something like that, or bagging the celebrity, right? They come from all over. And then you got the guys that kind of come behind that because they know it ain't enough celebrities to go around, right? It's the same thing in these areas overseas. You are somewhat of a celebrity because of your citizenship coming from the top country and one of the top nations in the world. Everybody knows your dollar goes strong. So women going to come from different areas to try to make a come up off the gringos or the foreigns or whatnot. All right. Shout out to Highlander 2016 with the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. What would the Thais have to do for you to make their number one? Hold up. What would the Thais have to do for you to make their number one over Colombian women? Man, you get a lot out of Thai women. It really is nothing you can do. I think somebody asked me would I have married a Colombian woman. I said yes, because I was in a relationship and it got close to that level. But yeah, Thai women, they are very feminine. They're very feminine, and they like to take care of a man, and they know how to take care of a man. I got to give them that. I got to give them that all day. All right. But once again, like I say, when you're in a relationship with a Thai woman, if she's not maybe a professional or she doesn't come from an established family, because you got some Thai people with some money. In all these countries I just mentioned, you got people with money. I know we had that narrative that everybody's poor in the country. That's not true. Like I said, I went out with a chick yesterday, and she paid for her own stuff. She wouldn't even let me pay for the drinks. She made it sure that, hey, she was like, yeah, you ain't never met a Thai woman like this before, have you? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I ain't never met a woman really in general, foreigner that, pay for her own drinks besides in Brazil. So you got, women with money. Now, like I say, now that woman right there, she has 3 jobs. She's not going to have a lot of time, for us to really hang out like that, right? Because she got 3 jobs. She got a car, she got the 3 jobs. Versus a woman who she might not work, right? She might not work. She don't want to work. She just wants to take care of you. Now, you still got to break her off some bread so she can send back to her family in those villages. All right. And a lot of guys do that. You see a lot of guys with these, these women out here in Thailand. They just ain't just the normal relationship that we have in the States, right? These guys are taking care of these women. All right. If it's not your dig, it's not your dig. I totally get it. But yeah, Highland 2016. Yeah, the Thai women, man, they're I think, women, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, East Africa, all that, African women, yeah, they kind of have a similarity where they like, being feminine. They're very feminine, and they take care of their men. I will say that. The Beta Male Police says, I'm not sending money to anyone, all cash on delivery. Nothing is free. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Somebody asked, where's the best place to live in Thailand? I've been hearing a lot of good things about Chiang Mai. I've been actually hearing a lot of good things about that. And Bangkok has a lot of traffic, though. Bangkok has a lot of traffic, man. It takes you 3 hours to go 3 miles. All right, somebody says they just passed a gun law in Brazil to allow citizens to carry. I just did a show on that, and violent crime has went down 34%. All right. You're right. Violence is worldwide. Like I said before, man, most of us come from like inner city backgrounds. Most of us come from not the best neighborhoods. The same rules apply, when you live in the inner city and all that good stuff. I'm an 80s baby, so, I grew up in the crack epidemic. I had crackheads, prostitutes, drug dealers, robbers, walking to the store, seeing all of them. So the same rules apply, that you learn in that inner city, dangerous inner city, they apply overseas as well. All right. Shout out to Steve, man. Shout out to you. You never did the Falcons wrong. I ain't going to be too mad at you, bro. All right, hold on. What's this? Is it safe for my brother and I to travel down as identical twins because we had 100 people looking at us in Cuba when we left the resort? That depends on where you say you're traveling down to, bro. You know. Shout out to my dude Shay Star in the building. All right, hold on. I want to point this out real quick. Women with money is going to ask you for your money sooner or later. I agree with that. I agree with that. I can agree with that. All right. I want to point this out real quick. I don't want to get too out of subject, but I want to just answer some of you guys' questions. Somebody says, "When I get to Thailand, I'm gonna get a motorbike." Hey, Thailand has at least in the Pattaya area, they have a kind of a crackdown on people driving without helmets and no licenses. All right, and what they do is they set up these not roadblocks, but I guess checkpoints. They set up these checkpoints around. I just saw one today. I got lucky today because usually I ride my bike to the store, but I had to get a lot of stuff today, so I actually took what they call a Grab. It's like their little Uber, and they had a checkpoint. So if you get caught up in that checkpoint, they're gonna take the keys out your bike, and they're gonna tell you got to go to the police station. You got to pay the fine, come back and show them the receipt, and then they'll give you your bike back. It don't matter exactly where you are. It could be 20, 30 minutes away from the police station. And sometimes the cops won't even be there when you get back. And then you got to look for where they at, so just be careful about that. And stay off Beach Road, by the way, too. There's a lot of checkpoints on Beach Road when you come out here. Just give you guys a little tipper. All right. Trust me, I played plenty of tickets myself. All right. Let's see here. Somebody says most overseas countries are actually safe. Yeah, Thailand is very safe, man. Like it's super safe here. You can walk around at 5, 6 in the morning. I be seeing some of the Europeans with gold chains, right? Like the older guys, they be straight strapped with gold chains. All right, let me give me 1 second, family. Let me put this out. Had a troll up in here. Get on up out of here. The fine is $15 US. That's how much the fine is. 500 baht. All right, and concerns of driving pretty much without a license or no helmet. We got 285 in the building. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. All right, guys. So in about 25 minutes, the video that I just edited is going to premiere. All right. Being Black in Southeast Asia is a real good video. Make sure you guys check that out in about 30 minutes right after this video that we do. All right. So yeah, this will sum up everything, y'all guys. Listen, relationships are difficult no matter where you're at in the world. When you travel overseas, you get that initial, you pulling different women, you like, oh man, it's the best thing ever. It's past what they call, what's that? The romance stage, that little puppy love stage, the first 3 months, any relationship can get difficult, man, especially when you spend a lot of time with each other. Here in Thailand, they kind of like to move in on you on the low. Like they spend a lot of time. You got to kind of tell them like, hey, what I'm saying? I need a couple of days. Let me get a break. When you kind of rush into things can go left, you go wrong. All right. Because you're trying to get to know the person. And it's difficult to know somebody when you don't live with them. I will say that. When I was in a relationship back in the States and me and her were living together, I learned a whole lot more about her. Than we even though we was together for a long time. I learned way more about her when we lived together for that little short, brief time period. Okay. So you really don't know the person until you actually live with them. All right. And things can get difficult, man. The good thing is, especially in like places like Colombia, the roles haven't been reversed so much. All right. So the man's going to play the man. They expect you to be masculine, hold your masculine frame, that big machismo culture. You know what I'm saying? They expect you to hold it down, be a provider, be a protector. In Colombia, it can be in some cases, in some areas, really damn near everywhere. It can be dangerous, and the women really want them to, really want a man that they feel like will protect them. When I was walking down Diaz one day, it was a little crazy guy on the street, harping and hollering. And my personal assistant, she grabbed my arm and everything. Women like protection. So the good thing about, Colombian women, the roles are traditional. And a lot of men are going to be more comfortable with that versus, the new thing that we got going on where, the roles have been all reversed and, they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to really submit to you. They don't want to have time to cook and clean for you. That's going to be one of the changes. It's going to make the relationship a little bit easier. Brazil, to me, my personal opinion, I know a lot of guys that are not going to want to hear this. It's moving towards kind of that American culture, unfortunately, a little bit. You still got some women out there that's want traditional relationships for sure, but that feminism really hit Brazil kind of hard, and you got women in Brazil with attitudes worse than women in the States. I tell you that. That's the honest truth. All right, now keep in mind you got some real friendly women as well in Brazil that want to learn about the culture. They want to befriend an American. They want to learn English and all that good stuff. You definitely have that. Then you got the women that in the favelas, they kind of treat you good too. So you have that as well. But, unfortunately, Brazil is, it's getting there. Like I say, women can be extremely rude in Brazil, in Rio. It's a big major city, a lot going on out there. It's a lot, dealing with the politics of everything. People want more opportunities out there. So you can date, a lot of big hookup culture. You have a lot of fun, but I don't see a lot of guys in relationships with Brazilian women. I mean, you see it, but I see it more in Colombia and Thailand per se. I definitely see it more, especially out here. Guys, pretty much get booed up fairly quickly out here. You know what I'm saying? Because here they expect the man to be the man as well. You're going to pay pretty much all the bills, and they're going to help, and they're going to support you. What I do like about Thai women is they're very concerned about your money. Where that be, they looking at it like that's their money too. I love the fact that they don't want you to spend no money that you don't have to. That part I like. I haven't seen that in Colombia or Brazil or DR. You're just going to be spending. They don't really care. I had a chick that I was with for quite some time, and we was in Cartagena. She went in there. She bought like a $200 bikini. And I looked at the receipt. I was very upset. I'm like, what in the hell? What are you doing? Like, you lost your mind? Like, you gotta take this back. Even though I let her keep it, I was upset because it was a one piece. I'm like, well, damn, if you're gonna buy, if you're gonna buy a bikini, at least let it be a two piece. You bought a grandma bikini for $200. Like, what's the freakiness in that? So they not really, your finances got to be real put together. Now, don't get me wrong. Some women will kind of look after, because I had paid my rent one time with another girl. And she saw me pay my rent, and she was like, yo, you paying way too much for this apartment. So you do have that. But in Thailand, them women are counting every penny for you. Like, they ain't letting nothing slide. That's what I love about Thai women. And they want to help you open up a business and make money. Like, I see a lot of guys, they get with a woman, they open up a business and they happy. I know a brother has his own dispensary not too far from here. It's him and his girl. They got a dispensary. I know another cat, European guy, same to his girl, they got a little dispensary. So you have that. They're more comfortable with working for you. I do like that part. Like, that's part of their culture, is to be with a man pretty much 24/7. All right. You with her, and then, at home, you with her at business. Some cats don't like that. But here, I like the fact that even though they might be around you a whole lot, they don't crowd you per se. But they want to see where you at, and probably want to see where they at. All right, hold on. Did somebody just say Colombia is super dangerous at the same time? You call me with that one, Dre. He says Colombia is super safe and super dangerous at all the same time. Man, look, Colombia is something else. It's the only place you can be robbed and drugged and want to go back, for sure. And you know what? At times in Colombia, you feel this level of peace and tranquility. You got the clouds coming over the mountains in Medellin. It looks like heaven on earth. It's beautiful. You're right. And then you go outside and they put that pistol on you. They take what you got. So it's it's a back and forth for sure. But on top of that, just imagine beautiful women everywhere. All right. That don't know they're beautiful. It's the craziest thing in the world. It's the craziest thing. I was talking to a chick yesterday, and not compliment her, because you can compliment women overseas. It's not like in the States where you got to have all this game. You got to wait 10 days to text her, and you can't say she bad, because if you say she too beautiful, she's gonna be on Instagram tomorrow. you know, and all that, or get an OnlyFans. Oh, he said, I'm cute. I'm going to give me an OnlyFans. It's not like that. Over here, you can say, hey, you look nice. You know, this, oh, you're very beautiful and all that good stuff. And they'll be like, oh, no. You know, beautiful as they are, in their eyes, they don't look that good. All right. All right, let me catch these super chats, and we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Quick show today because I want you guys to check out the premiere. What's that, about 15 more minutes? It was a really good interview, man. Shout out to the tip of the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. 2 questions. Have you ever went to the countries in the winter, and does it snow? Colombia, I don't think it snows. It gets cold in Bogota. Colombia has 78 to 80 degree weather year round. Brazil, it gets incredibly hot. There's no snow, but it gets that heat, and that heat beats you in Brazil. You know, let's see, Thailand. I think it snows maybe up in the mountainous areas, but no, I've never been over here with the snow. Also, America were to ban dual citizenship. If America was to ban dual citizenship, what would you do? I'm not sure, man. I don't think they're gonna ban dual citizenship though. So I'm not sure. That's going to be one of the moves I have to make at the time. All right, shout out to Highlander 2016 with the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Which of these countries piqued your interest to travel to next after Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Bali, Cambodia, or India? Who you been talking to, Highlander 2016? You in our group chat, man? You in the BMT WhatsApp group? Trying to peep my moves, dog. Let me see here. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Vietnam. I've been hearing mixed things about Philippines, Cambodia. All right, India. I don't want to go to India. You know, I just hear the traffic is just too. I heard it's just too crowded. Too crowded. I'm not one for being stuck in large crowds. All right. Yeah. But you know, maybe somewhere in Southeast Asia. Who knows? I might be in Brazil again, in Colombia again. Who knows? All right. I think I know who that is. By the way. He says Rob enjoyed and still want to come back. Yeah. Colombia would do that. Colombia would do that. I was at a cafe with one of my homegirls out there. You know, shout out to my girl Nia. And I asked her. I said, "What's the likelihood of me being robbed when I come to Colombia?" And she was just like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get robbed. More or less, you probably gonna get robbed, but you're gonna have a good time too. Like just prepare for it." I'm like, all right. I never forget. I had lunch with Richie Mack. Shout out to Richie Mack, by the way. And I guess his homeboy, one of his friends, was telling me that he'd been in Colombia, going back and forth for a long time, and he know the game so well. He was just like, man, when I'm in Colombia, man, I carry what I carry. I carry my burner phone. I carry a few dollars. They come and rob me. I'd be like, here you go. I don't even look that way. I'm like, here you go, bro. You know, have a nice day. And they'd be like, oh, all right. And they just move on. You know, he's like, that's my little fee for being with all them beautiful women. Here you go. Got to give it up a little bit. So you got guys like that too. Somebody says, what's a dispensary? Yeah, some of you guys don't know. I know it's been a kind of a touchy subject. A lot of guys don't want to really touch on. But yeah, you got dispensaries in Thailand now. It's legal. All right. It's gray area, but it's pretty much legal. They do have, dispensaries here. I don't smoke. That's not my thing, but they do have that available here. All right. Before it was highly illegal. Somebody say Cambodia for me. All right, let's see here. Hey, I keep trying to broadcast my moves, man. Shout out to my Dennis John Pierre. He says, you'll be in Brazil soon. LOL. Hey, man. Hey, all right. Yeah, I ain't gonna comment on that, but shout out to my boy Dennis John Pierre. Hey, man, Brazil's off the chain, bro. For me, Brazil might be a little too much. I mean, Colombia can get wild, don't get me wrong, but Colombia has a way of just kind of sucking you in that peaceful feel that it has. You just feel comfortable living there. Brazil, it's just too on go, man. Rio is just too on go. It's too on go. You leave the house at 2 p.m., you don't get back to 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. And that just goes down almost every day. You holler at my boy Hobson. I'm in the favela. We out there kicking in the favela for a couple hours. Then we go down to the beach. We gonna kick it there for a couple hours. Then we gonna go home. Take a shower. I'm tired. They're gonna hit me up. Hey man, what you doing, man? We're going out. We're going here. We're going there. Drag myself out, and then just bro. It's like that almost every day. All right. Then the next morning, you're gonna hear coming over a loud ass speaker system. All right, with a megaphone. You're gonna hear the YMCA song almost everywhere, especially in Baja Juca. They're gonna be driving around. I don't know what they be trying to sell, but all you hear is the YMCA at like 8 o'clock in the morning. You like, man, what is going on? Like, why y'all like that song so much? Like, why do y'all play it every morning? With the hangover. All right. So, yeah, okay. I will admit that, Jean Pierre. Yes, I will be there in New Year's Eve. I gotta go to my man party. Damn, I forgot my man's name. I'm talking about HL. I gotta go to my man HL New Year's Eve party, man. Best New Year's Eve party, all white party that you guys will ever go to. It was at the Hilton last year. I mean, that party was epic. Endless champagne, endless food, endless drinks, and a lot of Brazilian women. My boy Jean Pierre was there too, man. Can't beat it, man. It was something to see. It was something to see. All right. Something to see, man. I did a little video about it, but I didn't do the video justice because it was way more. I was having so much fun. I took a few clips, but to see all them Brazilian women with their afros out and all white, I mean, man, Lord have mercy, bro. It's something serious. Something serious. All right. Have fun. Shout out to Tandem Transport. I have 4 Filipinos there. Been 4 different spots in the Philippines before the pandemic. I'm hearing a lot of mixed things about the Philippines, man. I hear guys love the Philippines. I hear guys don't like the Philippines. Not sure. Charlie Jody Key says, get caught sleeping in the Pabado if you want to. All day. Oh, we already know, man. We already know. There'll be times where me and Dre will be out all day with the crew. We'll be out all day. Then the next morning, you hear somebody got drugged and robbed in the same area that we was partying in. You like, damn, how did that? We were just in that area that happened. So you got to watch it, man. You got guys that hunt out there, bro. Real talk. And them Colombians ain't no joke, bro. They ain't no joke. They ain't no joke, man. I'm telling you. Let's see here. I got another super chat. All right. I want to point this out about Buck Travel. You know what I'm saying? I want to put this out about Buck Travel. Buck Travel, I think I'd be seeing you on some video. I don't know if this is you, bro, but I think I'd be seeing you on the Enemies channel too. I don't know, bro. But I'm going to go ahead and read your comment. Dennis Jean Pierre, I met some Brazilian chicks here in Miami. I asked them which you like better, USA or Brazil. They said they prefer living in Brazil all day long. All day long. All day long. Brazil has a very dope culture, bro. Like, in comparisons of if you a beach guy, you haven't been to Brazil, you missing out, bro. You missing out. I could play some clips, but man, the beach is the beach here in Thailand. I don't know if it's all the beaches, but it's so peaceful. You hear that little Oriental flute in the background, and everybody, it's just real. Like it's not a lot going on. It's not a lot going on in Brazil. Oh my goodness, bro. I mean, it's just off the chain. Just dancing, partying, loud, all that good stuff in Brazil. That's probably got the best beach culture in the world, hands down. I don't see nobody messing with Brazil's beach culture, bro. I really don't. You got to just watch them Caprinas. Shout out to Multiple Personalities Intelligence. All right, that's a hell of a YouTube name, man. Appreciate the $20 super chat. Keep preaching the gospel, bro. Overseas is where it's at. Yeah, man, it's a good option. It's definitely a good option. Especially for black men. It's a good option, bro. It's a good option for all men in general, in my opinion. It's a good one. Yeah, the YMCA song, bro. I don't know why they so stuck up on that YMCA song. Which one is it? They had 2 big hits. Yeah, the YMCA. They love that song. They play that song, man, every morning, bro. I used to hit up Dre. I used to hit my boy Dre up. I'd be like, bro, you hear this? And he'd be like, man, why they playing the YMCA dudes? Why they playing? What's that? The Village People or something? He's like, man, why they playing that? I'm like, bro, it's every morning. Every morning. 8 o'clock sharp. They're gonna be playing that song. All right. Shout out to Tandem Trust with the 5 Super Chat, man. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes for the premiere of the interview I did, being black in Southeast Asia. hey, go live, Grego. Go live. He said, I'm watching the Colombian guy now posted behind a tree. Shout out to Grego. Shout out to my dude, Jay Clyde. Shout out to Austin Holloman, too, man. They all out there in Medellin, man. Shout out to you guys. Hey, Isaiah recognized Brazil's a place to be for New Year's. Yes, and yes. I want to spend New Year in Brazil every year. Like I said, my man HL, man, he threw the party of like a century, man. You would think that we was like some ball players or something up in there, man. And like I said, to see all them women with the afros and all white, it's dope, man. Dope. All right. I want to point out this John Pierre. I wish I could do a panel tonight, man, but I want to premiere this video. He says, Jay Lee, is true feminism is gaining traction. Yes, it is, but it's still better than dating in the States. It is. Most definitely. Somebody said, how Thailand around December? I'm not sure, bro. That's a good question. Listen, I wouldn't say Asians are docile. I wouldn't say that. Let me tell you something. You know, I thought the girl I was dating for a couple of months, I thought she was kind of like that too. No. They'll blow up on you too, bro. They will blow up on you too. The thing about it, what I've noticed is it's not an ongoing thing. It's not a back and forth, right? It's because you know you're the man. You say pretty much goes, but when they have an issue with you, they'll shut down, right? They'll shut down. They won't say nothing because it's not in the culture. They don't have the whole yapping, you know, all in your ear. They ain't doing all that, but they gonna shut down on you. And if you keep messing with them while they kind of shutting down on you, like I was doing, I'm like, man, what's wrong? You know, what's up? You know, you mad about this? You this, you that? And like, hey, you know, talk to me. You know, they might go on the balcony and everything. You gotta watch them too. And they'll just blow up with you, say something in Thai, and then they'll come down and they'll apologize for it later. I'm like, what you said to me in Thai? She's like, oh, I just said I was tired. I'm like, nah, ain't what you said. I'm gonna see if I can remember what you said. But they're not docile, trust me. They women, you know, it's just not, you're not gonna be with the arguing on the street, going back and forth. That's not gonna happen. They don't make a scene, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You know, in America, you know. I remember getting an argument in front of the rent office back in the day with my girlfriend, and she was just going off, and you know, people were looking, and I'm just like, man, why you gotta do this? I said, right here, right here, you gotta make a scene right here in front of all these people. Yeah. Yes, sir. The Village People all day, man. They love that song. Mainly, I heard that song in Baja de Juca. That's the main. Did I hear it in I think I heard it in Copacabana too a few times. But definitely every morning in Baja de Juca. Believe that. They're gonna play that. He said they love We Are the World too. Yeah, man. Yeah, they got their little hit song. What song they like? It's a song that they love out here. They play a whole lot, but I don't know the name of the artist. And I just know they just say Up and Up. I don't know the name of the artist, but they play that song over and over again. Shout out to my dude Jay Cloud once again. All right, guys. Okay, so we got 1 minute. It's about to premiere. Stay tuned. Yeah, you're right, Drake here. Yeah, Muay Thai will kick you with the quickness. Yeah, you're right. And the women do know Muay Thai out here. They do know Muay Thai out here. Somebody said she called me the N-word in Thai. Nah, man, they don't get down like that out here, bro. Trust me. If you hear the N-word, it's gonna be from another foreigner. All right. So, all right, family, I appreciate you guys joining me today. All right, we're going to go ahead and premiere. It's 3:30, 3:29. We're about to go ahead and premiere that. Peace.